switching to your presentation. Okay, now.
Oh, Sairam everyone, namaste, namaste. I don't know, Sister Vera is joined. She was going to make, I thought she was going to make some preliminary
Yes,
remarks.
Vera, I invite you to give some kind of introduction here. Vera, are you there?
Thank you so much, Brother Raj, for being with us today. This is a very special session because you're going to illuminate us about the concept of the self and the names of the self, the highest self, the Paramatma, and the different connotations and principles and ways to reach this ultimate goal, which we want to give as a gift to our beloved Lord Sai Baba on his 100th birthday. And we are so grateful that you have agreed to tackle this very profound and comprehensive theme within this period of 45 minutes. And it's somebody that only you could do it. So thank you, brother. And of course, we ask Swami to be present with us and guide us as he has done through the whole process. And our idea of this is that as we reflect on what Raj is saying, we will also be looking at ourselves and undergoing a process of introspection, because the whole purpose of the gift is to go inwards and following what Raj will present, that pattern or any other trajectory that you may wish to take during the week. So keep this ongoing, and then at some point we will have a collective discussion on our inner experiences and the realizations that we have got. We could do that in an open session. So thank you, all of you, and also especially to Brother Raj.
Thank you, Sister Vera. Thank you. Yes, I think I want to go back to why we have to do this, understanding the self. That as part of our center's offering on self-transformation, first step is to understand what is self. So why do we have to understand the self? Swami's mission on this earth was to, it is stated in the organization guidelines that he had come on this earth to light the lamp of love, which will shine brighter and brighter each day, to awaken that intellect, awaken that Atmic soul. So that's why it's important to know, Swami has said that he has come to give on earth not what we want, but he has come on this earth to give what he really wants us to know, that is, you and I are one. Sairam? I think someone has the audio on. And perhaps we can go to the first slide, which has two captions on it.
One moment, Anna Maria, you have your audio on, and Vera, you have your audio on. Margaret, Lake, have your buds. They have to be off, please.
Yeah, I'm going to mute.
Mine is off. Mine was off.
Okay. All right.
So if we can go to the So I briefly try to touch on this topic, that why we have to understand the self. Self-transformation, why we have to do self-transformation. Self-transformation is needed to achieve that moksha, that enlightenment, that the feeling, that oneness, all that Sath, Chith, Ananda. So, the focus on our journey is always not only worldly experience, to use the worldly experience to evolve ourselves, to manifest the divinity which is in each one of us. Swami Vivekananda said, we have the potential of being divine, whereas Swami has said we are divine. He emphatically, prophetically said that I'm divine, so are you. So to experience that three aspect, Sath, what's the truth? That is the Atma, soul. We'll get into that in a few minutes. And then Chith, the awareness of that Atma. Only when we are living in that awareness of the Atma, we have the bliss, Ananda. Not the happiness. Happiness is temporary. It's an interval between two pleasures, between pleasure and pain. That's happiness, temporarily happy. Whereas bliss is where we have equipoised, where we take both sorrow and joy with equanimity. Like Swami state that he when Mother Ishwaramba passed away, right away that bondage is ended. He did the last rites and move on as though nothing happened, as though Swami. One of the things stuck in my mind in early days was that where is wife before marriage? Where are children before marriage? So all this worldly relationship is temporary. The soul is always there, is eternal, and is taking many births, the 86,000 species we have to go through, from plant, minerals, animals, and then human being, and then many of us, including me, we still have that animalistic tendency of greed, jealousy, anger, envy, all the negative emotions where me, mine, that aspect of it. Whereas the soul part is about us, and then eventually going from I to we to he. So why we have to know the self, and succinctly put, is to experience that blissful, peaceful, contented living, moment by moment, that Sat, Chit, Ananda. In a worldly sense, that translates into, Swami always emphasized, be happy. Are you happy? I will give you all the worldly trinkets and treasures so that you can focus on what I have come to give you. That's why he always addressed each one of us divine embodiment of prema, love. Every discourse starts out that he never addressed as Your Excellency, brother, sister, none of those terminologies. Simply, you are divine, and I am also divine. And Swami always said, I know I am divine, you just don't know it. You have to peel all the layers of body identification to get there. So the purpose why we are understanding self is to experience that Sat, Chit, Ananda. In worldly sense, that means to be happy, genuinely happy, for no reason. I think we have a bhajan saying, no reason, no season. So one of the things stuck in my mind, I think Hal Honig had the business card printed, which said, be happy, make others happy, then God will be happy. So all the worldly millionaires, billionaires approaching him, the only word asked by Swami to them was, are you happy? Even, so it was even starting with St. Clair to Isaac Tegret, everyone. Because that means, are you identifying yourself with the soul? Are you functioning in that capacity of fountain of love, that you are radiating that love to every human interaction? So, briefly, this is the reason why we have to understand self. Can we please go to the second slide? And also I request each one of you to interject me at any point, stop me. It doesn't disrupt me, my flow of thought. We can have a little bit more interactive session. I don't want to be, lecturing, or I'm just a fellow traveler in this journey, going from I to we to thee. Any comments so far as to why we have to understand the self? Any of you, please help me. That I know that you're listening, you're getting something out of it. It's important that
Yes.
everybody benefits from this discussion.
Yes, brother. And maybe just to thank you for this very good outline that you have presented. I think we can keep to the second slide as well.
Okay.
You bring this out very well. The importance of knowing the self, what we are, and the thought I have is that we are so bound by our small I, my, me, the small self, the little self that you're bringing at the end of this slide, and with our egos, which can be such a big obstacle in our path to illumination. So knowing what we are with all these other dimensions of the Atma, the soul, the energy, helps us to move away from the little self. So I think knowing the self is most critical. Thank you.
Thank you, Sister Vera. Anyone else, please? What's your understanding of the self?
Yeah,
Please go
yeah.
ahead.
I think that the self that we have to transform is this body, is this mind, because the self with the capital H, that it doesn't need any transformation, because it's all that Atma soul energy. So the exercise here for me is to really understand what I need to transform in me, in this person that I am. What do I need to transform so I get to all that Atma soul energy, divine Brahma, and act. I think that personally, yeah, I know all that, but it's the fact of being that, being Atma, being soul, being energy, being 24 hours a day. And so where do I get stuck? And only me know where do I get stuck. Anyway, so it's like, for me, is spiritualize this body. I have to spiritualize this body. I don't know.
Yeah, thank you, Sister Rosarena. Yeah, excellent. It's spiritualizing the body to really feel that the core energy within each one of us. Brother Tom, please, you put some notes in chat. I can't read. If you can share your thoughts, please, it helps.
Put in like more of the dichotomy that you were mentioning here with the little self to the big self. Yeah, it's other ways of saying that is like the limited to the limitless self.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, you always bring up the point. Who is asking this question, right?
It seems to be pretty founded.
Yeah, that's
same thing with temporary.
Right. Yeah, that's the self-inquiry part of it. Okay, all right, that's good. That helps. So let's move on. So as Sister Rosalina mentioned, how do we transform ourselves from this little self to the big self? Little self, to my limited understanding, is that body identification. I'm Raj, I'm lawyer, and this and that, and so it goes on and on. So then I put myself in a pedestal. This is, so my likes and dislikes takes over with the body identification. Swami, in his last discourse on the 85th birthday in 2010, the only one thing I stuck in my mind is that develop Atma Abhimana, not Deha Abhimana. That means develop soul awareness living, not this body identification. So we have to, through the process of all the things we are doing, satsang, reading scripture, meditation, chanting, any which way you can experience the little higher level of consciousness within each one of us helps us to move towards that soul awareness living. So there are different names people have used. Let's see, Tom is writing, we are transformed by following practices Swami's teaching. Can you please elaborate? I can go back to the... Please,
Yeah.
Brother Tom, please. Yeah.
Sure, I'm just
Share it in that way. It benefits everyone, and not everyone may have access to the chat, please.
Oh, sure. Well, by the side, you can just put the chat on the side and keep the box open if you want. But for the whole group, I just had the thought that the question Raj raised was, well, how do we transform ourselves? That's what we're talking about. And for me, the global answer is follow and practice Swami's teachings. I mean, it's that easy. So when we practice now Samarana, that's transforming ourselves. When we do service, that's transforming. Any practice you pick, you practice it, you deepen it, you expand it, you strengthen it, and that's the transformative process. It's not done through the intellect, I don't think.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Thank you, Brother Tom. Please, Sister Vera.
I think this was very relevant, and I want to just say that we all say that we are practicing, but the important element, ingredient is consistency, regularity, discipline, committed practice. Many of us just tend to do haphazard when we have, but sincere practice is devotion. And the other point I brought down was impermanence versus permanence. So when we identify with the body, it's impermanent, it's going to perish. But the real aspect of self is that it is eternal, it's everlasting, it's there, it's always there. So I think these are the ways, besides these various modes of practice, regularity, sincerity, commitment, and also I think the fact of being good, just being good, being kind is an important form of practice which we forget.
Beautiful. Yes, please, Sister, go ahead.
Yes.
Margaret.
I just wanted to talk about how Baba raised my consciousness. He came in a dream and he told me to study Buddhism. This was in the 80s. I was a nurse at the time.
At Bellevue?
Excuse me?
At Bellevue, I think, right?
Yes, Bellevue. Well, I worked at many different hospitals, but I think I was at Bellevue at that time. A good memory, Raj.
Yeah, bits and pieces.
Right. So, I was really lacking. I think I was becoming a little bit jaded and lacking compassion when he came to me in the dream. I mean, it wasn't always like that. It depended on the patient I was dealing with, which is discriminatory. What I needed to have was no matter what the patient was going through, how they treated me, I still had to maintain a high level of compassion. And this had to do with consciousness. And he told me to study Buddhism. And of course, one of the basic tenets of Buddhism is compassion and, of course, kindness. And I studied it for 15 years. I didn't leave Baba at the time. Baba was the creme de la creme for me. But my awareness, my consciousness became so heightened that he entered me and transformed me. And, you have to, not only in your actions and your thoughts and your words and your deeds and stuff, your words, you have to attain that consciousness in all those areas. And the easiest is not to speak ill, but the thoughts are the most difficult to be conscious of in a dharmic way. Yeah,
Saidam. Thank you, Sister Margaret. Yeah, that's good that Swami directed you to explore Buddhism, compassion.
Yes.
Right, in every situation to be compassionate is difficult, sometimes.
Yes.
We start out compassionate, something triggers within us, something we don't like, the response or so, then,
The thoughts are the hardest, right, Raj?
Sorry?
The thoughts are the hardest.
Yeah, thoughts,
Be
yeah,
conscious.
right. Yeah, thank you for sharing. Anyone else? Please, it helps to see where I should take the direction of this discussion. That helps, Yeah, you mentioned consciousness. That's one of the aspect of self, because self is many times we hung up with the terminology, Atmic awareness, soul, energy, divinity, Brahman, consciousness, all that. I mean, simply put, Swami's the main emphasis on divine love for self and for, that is, the individual self, and then to all of humanity. So that's why, so, it really, whichever terminology you use, it doesn't matter. It is to experience the divine love, download the divine love, as Sister Vera mentioned, consistency in our sadhana. Brother Tom mentioned about sadhana. Any teaching of Swami said, just follow one of my teaching. You don't have to know all the 9 point of code of conduct, or so many thousands of pages of discourses. Just pick up 1 or 2 and then work on it, and then you evolve into the. It's an evolutionary process. It's not a revolution. It's that's why we are still in this body, to have to evolve. There are new challenges, new experiences always thrown into our life. Health crisis, family, job, and executive orders. All these things are thrown into life challenges, and we still have to focus on why are we here and where are we going. That is, we are here to serve God. As Tom and others have mentioned about service in various aspects, not only Narayan Seva, but food service. Not only in prayers and wishing well, visiting the elderly, having a compassionate word, compassionate listening, all those aspects of it. Swami in his teaching, one of the teaching, I don't remember the exact quote, the sacrifice aspect is the key to our existence. Whatever way we are sacrificing to make the life better for other person, wiping a tear, adding a smile, making them whole. That's what life is all about. That's where that Atmic awareness, to my limited understanding. Whereas the body takes away that joy, that when we make someone else feel good, speaking softly, and then echoing their feelings and identifying with them, not sympathizing. I mean, that's not the correct terminology. The idea is to how we make the other person feel that I am listening, I am understanding. That is that compassion which Sister Margaret talked about, in not only in medical care, in every situation, in our relatives, friends, which are co-workers, everywhere. So there are different names to the self: Atma, soul, energy. Energy many times referred to awakening the Kundalini, the 8 chakras going through from Muladhara to Sahasrara as we elevate consciousness. I think the most important chakra for me is the Hridaya chakra. That Anahata chakra. That has to be open. Where compassion should flow spontaneously. Anytime you see a suffering, it should. And that's how Swami changed the ending prayer, from Loka Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu to Samasta Loka Sukhino Bhavantu. Let all beings in all the worlds be happy and well-being and all that, So that aspect of it. So perhaps any other comments on the different aspect of self, or what we call our, self.
Yes,
Please.
Brother Raj.
Please.
Thank you to everyone for their interventions. They've been all very helpful, and we learn from each other. To this, I would like to say, when we talked about compassion and caring, I would like to bring in the theme of the Manhattan Center, which is about God and nature itself. So animals, plant life. So let us extend this to, the whole universe beyond our human mortality and cells. And another dimension that I would like to say that I feel that we can truly progress when we offer ourselves in humility and surrender to Baba. This is not duality, but it's part of this understanding, this divinity that would make us humble and give ourselves in total surrender to reach that ultimate goal.
Beautiful, beautiful. Thank you, Sister Vera. Yeah, right. That is. Hey, look at Swami. He just doesn't walk with his chest rolled up, and that I'm the Lord of the universe. You never know. Him taking the gentle steps during darshan time. Many of us have seen. He presents himself so simple, so humble, and that is an ideal example for all of us to live with. That's a very good point. Anyone else, please? And then the aspect, what do you understand as self? That I think some of you already touched on it, as compassion, love, and anything else anybody wish to share, please.
Yeah, Raj,
Please.
I can jump in.
Please, Tom.
Two things. One, I wanted to share. I have a little plaque here right by my table where I zoom from, and it's back in the day before Sai Kuliman Hall was built, and the Mandir. There used to be these big stone tablets with sayings on them, and I took a photo of them like my first year there. I was like, oh, that's great. I got to take a picture. One of them says, it's got like a blue sky with white swans flying through it, and the words are, ask yourself, why have I come here? Am I doing what I came to do? And I thought, oh, that's deep in my time at Prashanti. Why did I come to Prashanti Nilayam? Then I'm looking at the picture years later and I go, oh, he means life.
Yes.
Why did I come to this? Am I doing what I came to do? And that's what we're talking about here. It's like, what is our purpose and what are we doing? Right. And the other thing I want about self was that Jesus said the same thing. You and I are one. And Swami, you and I are one. So ultimately, it's not like we're getting to him. It's more of a deepening collaboration with our true self. When we really go in, he says, just be quiet. Ask me anything, I'll give you the answer. And so it's in there.
Beautiful. And, I remember, I don't know, it's still there now as you enter the Prashanti gate, and then, there are a series of tablets along the roadway. So many wonderful saying every, so that it is there. That's a very key question as to why are we here, eating, sleeping, drinking, and then the journey is over. Whatever 100, 5,000 weekends. That's it. 100 years if you live up to 100 years. So there is something more to than daily existence. This body is needed to experience the soul. That without the body we cannot experience. Plant, animal, and mineral kingdom don't have the capacity. The consciousness is only given to human. So we have to, many times, Brother Tom, you talk about Ramana Maharshi, who am I, why I'm here, right? So that's all. So that the quote from Prashanti reflecting the same message. Why I'm here, why I'm spending thousands of dollars, spending my vacation time, and then Swami called in, we went there. So now what? Where to go from here? And how to make this world a better place than what we found? That aspect of it. So anyone else? Maybe we can go to the third slide, please, and then.
Brother Raj?
Yeah, please, Brother. Sorry, Mr. Sarita. Yeah.
Looking at this list, of course, the self is everything, actually. It's not limited to this thing. I guess the transformation is really bringing ourselves to understand that the self that I see outside me is in fact embodied in me.
Beautiful.
Because when we go down to the minutest level of being an atom, everything is made up of these atoms. And we are mostly space. right? But if you look at an atom, so therefore in that space, everything is one. So at least that's what I think we have to work towards.
Yes. Sairam, thank you, Sister. Yeah, this is not an exhaustive list of definition of self, just to promote discussion and encourage our thought process. This list is put in there. I think,
No, you did put over there little self, body identification versus the big self. So actually we have to move towards understanding the big self.
Big
right?
self, yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you. So, I mean, I was going to use, the Swami Shivoham, that chanting part. I'm not this body, and the soul cannot be burned, cannot be identified. There's so many different descriptive words are there to make us understand. Yes, every atom, every particle, everything is that aspect of divinity. That is that soul. We, with our definitional limitation, we cannot comprehend that soul. That the body, once we go beyond the the 5 sheets, I think on Namaya Kosha, Pranamaya Kosha, Manamaya Kosha, Vidyanamaya Kosha, Anandamaya Kosha, all these from physical body to subtle body to mental frame and all our memory aspect, and then eventually getting to that Ananda, which we are in deep sleep. Swami has talked about we are actually 3. The one we think we are, which is the body. The one we think others are. Others, how they think about us, is the mental aspect of it. And one we really are is the soul. The soul is a very big concept to comprehend, but to me, in simple terms, it is the love. It's the love. Swami's love. That's it. Love encompasses everything. Love doesn't hurt, accept, it unites, it includes and expand and all that. So if we can feel that love, first of all, that we are unique creation. Each one of us are uniquely made by Swami, sent to this earth, be his messenger. Swami has talked about first, my life is my message. Later on, towards the last part of his life, he only emphasized, your life is my message. What is our gift? Not day-to-day existence and accumulation of wealth, progeny, and name and all that. Beyond that, what sacrifice have you made? How many people have you lifted the spirit? That in simply put, how much love you have given to your fellow being. That is the aspect of soul. That's the big self. So I hope that helps. Please share your thoughts. It really helps to flesh out the details. The main part of our topic is understanding the self. So any input would be valuable, please. Meanwhile, we can go to the 3rd slide. So don't limit.
But Brother Raj,
Yes.
Just before we proceed, I think that Rosalina earlier had brought up a very important point, that while we're talking of the soul and the body and the attachment to the body and its impermanence and all the rest, she used the word mind, and I think that struck me. And to say that the mind is really the source and the key to wisdom and enlightenment also. And hopefully, when we are working towards, all of it is contained. I know love, compassion, caring, service, doing the practice, but at the same time, being aware of whether the mind governs us or we govern the mind is so critical. And therefore, I think that whole study guide that the SSIO has given us about purity, and purity is enlightenment, is so important. So I want to thank Rosalina for bringing up the concept of the mind and so I want to add further, make the mind pure. just as we make the heart and the soul pure. But the mind is the compass, the engineer, the driver, whatever you say. Thank you.
Thank you. That's a very, very important point. My mind is the cause of our bondage and liberation. So if you think I have a problem, I have a problem. If I think I have a solution, I have a solution. That it's always looking. The mind can be transformed into looking a glass at half full, or is it half empty? Do I find something to dislike Sister Vera, or do I find all the things which makes her whole? That is, the mind can be trained, through all our satsang with Swami's, grace and prayers and all that, and also studying the lives of noble people, all that. So yeah, of course, with body, mind, intellect, and then soul. So we have to draw from intellect. The more we put intellect in charge, which is only through satsang, meditation, all the consistent effort is needed to work through the purity aspect of it. We become impure because of body identification. I'm this, I'm that. My way is the only way. My way is the highway. So that's in purification comes there. As we elevate that, so is everyone. Everyone is unique creation of God. Each has a different gift. We have to work together to make it whole. That's why in the Purnamada prayer, I'm Purnamada, Purnamidam, Purnamada Chade, Purnasya Purnamada, Purnameva Shishyate. That this is whole, that is whole, everything is whole. That to elevating that mind to keep in that posture. With the sensual attraction, the mind diverts to the worldly side. You have to shift it back to Godward journey, inward journey. So the mind is the key, very key, very key. Thank you. Anyone else? Anything else? Otherwise, we can move on to the next part. I think you just have 2 more slides to cover. So, already mentioned Swami's greetings to each one of us. Divyatma Swarupalala, divine embodiment of love. So some of the things next after that listed. I am God prayer. That's the only prayer I know Swami prescribed to several people. That especially Phyllis Crystal, he made us say, "Miss Crystal, say I'm God. I'm not different from God. I'm indivisible, Akhanda Parabrahma. I'm Sath, Chith, Ananda. We have a song also, right? Remind me, my Lord, who I am. So that is to again training that mind to put in that raise awake that second part of Sath, Chith. Sath is the soul. That everyone is soul. The whole creation is soul. There is nothing it is incorrect in this creation. Everything is made perfect the way is divine will. Not a blade of grass moves without Swami's will, right? So everything is perfect. Whatever is going on, whatever is going to happen, whatever happened, everything is perfect. So I am God prayer helps, and then Mahavakya, all the Veda Upanishads and the end of knowledge, the Vedanta is that Mahavakya, that I am Brahma. That Aham Brahmasmi, Swami always talked about Soham prayer, right? Soham, I think he even has the video clips and that you can say, Soham, that I am that, I am that, I am that, I am that, I am that. 21,600 times our breath is repeating, is reminding us. Our mind is running after CNN, is running after CNBC, all the sales and Macy's, etc. Sports, recent hockey game between USA, Canada, whatever. It's everything going outward. It has to come back inward. That's the whole purpose of 100 gifts we are offering to Swami: self-transformation, self-realization. So it's all there. Everybody knows it. That everybody is so we are aspect of divinity. But we have difficulty practicing it because we are going outward. We have to shift our energy back to inwards. These satsang, listening to Swami's discourse, prayers, and then Sister Vera mentioned earlier, being good to people. I think the essence of Swami's teaching is always, to me, is just be nice to people. That's all. So so that is that manifesting the divinity within each one of us, to project that love, compassion, peace, none of the negative emotions, anger, jealousy, pride, envy, all that. So I hope I touched on this aspect of understanding the self. I hope some of these comments were helpful. I hope if I indulge in excessive talking, please forgive me. And then please share your thoughts, input, and I think that's all I have to share. Is there one more slide? I don't remember. Is there one more? Yeah, okay. Yeah, I mean, this kind of essence that if you're happy without any reason, that is that bliss. That is that So I mean, we all have experienced that bliss aspect. Many times maybe somebody was so kind to us, or when you're listening to the bhajan is something. Sometime I really feel it. Then you feel the tears. You feel genuinely attitude of gratitude, thanking the good Lord. Worship by many names: Allah, Buddha, Jesus, Mahavira, all names, all forms. So it just Swami is the embodiment of everything, the truth. So the last word saying that Baba is being, which is Sath, awareness, bliss. That is three aspects of it. I think Brother Tom mentioned, it just reminded me, Jesus also said the same thing. Most important is Jesus started as I'm a messenger. I'm a servant of God, messenger of God. Then I and God are one. The three levels. Same thing with Prophet Muhammad also, about the light. Light is in me. I'm in the light. I'm the light. So all this bringing in whole that we are one. There is, even in surrender, that's what it's all about. Surrender. There's nothing to surrender. But then the Swami divinity and everything is same. That the inner Swami is the one, that Atma energy, divinity, which is making us think, feel, act, function in this society, in this world. So if we are aware of that, and we continue to increase our awareness, so that not only myself I'm divine, but so is everyone. So nobody is higher, nobody is lower. So it just developing that, training the mind to keep focusing on that. The Swami is the indweller. He just outside our door. We have to open the door to let him in, to manifest in all of us. So I'll end with this prayer. Swami, always be guide my every thought, word, and deed. Most importantly, manifest the love you have for me and for all of humankind through this limited, through this limited body. So, Sai Ram.
Brother Raj, just one little point. All
Sure.
of this ultimately culminates, the goodness, the compassion, and everything. But if we truly, sincerely have respect, I think this word of respect, which Swami has mentioned so many times, so I would just like to add that little bit in this beautiful presentation. Respect is so vital. We are all practicing, but sometimes we may not be exceedingly respectful towards one another.
Very true.
I just want to say
please, Sister Margaret.
About the picture that you chose of Swami. As soon as I looked at it, I became so unbelievably happy, and I've had a ear-to-ear smile. I mean, he looks like he's embodying the happiness of the purity of a child. He almost looks childlike in his happiness, and I want to thank you for that picture, because it just commemorated the whole presentation. I mean, look at him. I took a picture. I have to have it. I took a picture.
Yes, you're welcome. Yeah, thank you. I mean, you only directed when I searched the Google for Bliss, Bliss and Swami, it came up, right away. I said, okay, I gotta use this, and that's, yeah.
Wonderful. Thank you.
Thank you. That's what it's all about. Having that joy. Only when we are joyful, we can give the joy to others. So if I'm,
Absolutely.
Swami always said, don't have castor oil face. So that's one thing I took it to my heart. I always try to smile gently and then to reflect that no matter what's happening within me, around me, just to feel that aspect of it, to put everybody at ease that way. I think Brother Tom, you had some comment. I didn't see it. Can you please share it, Brother Tom?
Yeah.
Yeah, please.
I just wrote in the chat.
Yeah, for everyone's benefit, please share it. Yeah.
Yeah, I just said thanks, Raj. Yeah, and thanks to you all. This is a very helpful conversation. And
Yeah.
then I have a little card here. Swami says, "Happiness is the nature of Atma." It's like that's
Yes,
what it
yes,
is.
yeah. Yeah, the also as it is on the slide, happiness is union with God, right? So it just out. The Swami gave the example of the lock and the key. As you turn the key to a right side, toward worldly side, misery, suffering, unhappiness, everything, depression, everything. Whereas if you keep towards Swami, to feel his presence, and not only Swami this form, but all forms, everything, and no discrimination, no. Because everything is God's creation, so it doesn't matter Jesus, Buddha, Allah, Mahavira, etc., etc. Any name, any form, anybody talks about spirituality, divinity. So, and then Swami has said, it's good to be born in religion, not to die in the religion. So, so it cannot be fanatic to Swami is the only way, but every way is Swami's way. We don't, I don't proselytize, I don't say it that way. Simply just being respectful. I think Sister Vera mentioned about respect, especially when we are the interfaith gathering, attend by Swami's grace here in New York City. It is always showing that respect and then trying to understand their viewpoint. Sairam, thank you.
Thank you so much. Maybe Brother Prabal, would you like to offer a thanks, or Sister Rosalina?
Okay, I can jump in now since I hadn't spoken at all.
Yeah, please. I mean, not so much thank you, but I want to hear your thought process, please.
Yes, I kind of bring in a slightly different picture because I'll give you a quick story.
Yes.
Way back about 40 years ago, when I soon after I had come to this country, I was at Notre Dame, and the housing complex that we were living in, there was another gentleman, Indian gentleman, who was in the management department. I was in chemistry, doing chemistry and biology. And this gentleman was a faculty member. He was a professor there. He, at some point, unfortunately, he got glioblastoma, brain tumor. And within 1.5 years, he passed away. And he had children who were not really grown by then. So at that point in time, it was unnerving for me. And I thought very firmly that I need to work to do something about it. And I had been doing that for the past 30 to 40 years. And Swami has brought me to a stage which is quite promising at this point. But the problem is that the way my research has gone hasn't always been condoned or endorsed by my Psi friends all the time. And I can probably give you the data and the reason later on in a different place. But my point was at every point when I saw this happening, these controversy or the problems that were appearing, I would pray to Swami that you take over, and in a wondrous way, I didn't have to close shop. We advanced, and that clearly shows that Swami was there.
Beautiful.
Now, I'm working from my physical level, but I'm trying to do whatever Swami has asked us to do, that is, work for others. But even then, it may not be that simple. But I think ultimately that dualism, in my case, works. Thinking that I am soul all the time and I have to behave like soul, yes, I can do that. But at some point when we have these situations where we need answers, we have to go back to that dualism and say, Swami, do something about this, tell me what to do. And then the answer comes in ways that is wondrous, basically. So, yeah, feeling the soul is always there, but what do we do in those situations? And as Brother Raj, you said that in surprising situations we need the grace of God, and that's exactly what has been happening. So thank you very much for this very nice and thought-provoking presentation. It made me think and go back long distance in memory. And I think we need to proceed with caution and proceed by watching ourselves all the time and using the word that word program that Swami had given us, watch. So with this, thank you very much, Raj, and Jai Sai Ram.